Today is Monday, February 2nd. Welcome to Big Book Daily. My name is Rob. I am an alcoholic. It is a thrill, honor, and joy to be here with you today as we journey through the Big Book of Alcoholics Anonymous and the 12 Steps and 12 Traditions. Today at the Big Book, we're going to continue our journey through There's a Solution. We'll be reading page 23. Out of the 12 and 12, we are on step 4. We'll read page 45. And of course, we'll read the 24 hours a day and daily reflection. So with that, hope y'all are doing well this morning, my friends. It's the beginning of a new week, but the nice thing is, all we got to worry about is this set of 24 hours. So with that, let's get to the good stuff. All right, my friends, so if you recall from yesterday's reading out of the Big Book, we were talking about how alcoholics behave a little differently around alcohol. It says at the bottom of 22, we know that while alcoholics keep away from the drink, as he may do for months or even years, he reacts much like other men. And we are equally positive that once he takes any alcohol, whatever into his system, something happens, both in the bodily and mental sense, which makes it virtually impossible for him to stop. The experience of any alcoholic will abundantly confirm this. So we are going to continue on that idea on page 23. These observations would be academic and pointless if our friend never took the first drink, thereby setting the terrible cycle in motion. Therefore, the main problem of the alcoholic centers in his mind rather than his body. If you ask him why he started on the last bender, the chances are he'll offer you any one of 100 alibis. Sometimes these excuses have certain plausibility, but none of them really make sense in light of the havoc an alcoholic's drinking bout creates. They sound like the philosophy of the man who, having a headache, beats himself on the head with a hammer so that he can't feel the ache. If you draw this fallacious reasoning to the attention of the alcoholic, he will laugh it off or become irritated and refuse to talk. Once in a while, he may tell the truth. And the truth, strange to say, is usually that he has no more idea why he took that first drink than you have. Some drinkers have excuses with which they are satisfied part of the time. But in their hearts, they really do not know why they do it. Once this malady has a real hold, they're a baffled lot. There is the obsession that somehow, someday, they will beat the game. But they often suspect that they are down for the count. How true this is, few realize. In a vague way, their families and friends sense that these drinkers are abnormal. But everybody hopefully awaits the day when the sufferer will rouse himself from his lethargy and assert his power of will. The tragic truth is that if the man be a real alcoholic, that happy day may not arrive. He has lost control. At a certain point in the drinking of every alcoholic, he passes into a state where the most powerful desire to stop drinking is absolutely of no avail. The tragic situation has already arrived in practically every case long before it is suspected. Out of the 12 and 12, we're on step 4. Made a searching and fearless moral inventory of ourselves. Page 45. If temperamentally we are on the depressive side, we're apt to be swamped with guilt and self-loathing. We wallow in this messy bog, often getting a misshapen and painful pleasure out of it. As we morbidly pursue this melancholy activity, we may sink to such a point of despair that nothing but oblivion looks possible as a solution. Here, of course, we've lost all perspective, and therefore all genuine humility. For this is pride in reverse. This is not a moral inventory at all. It is the very process by which the depressive has so often been led to the bottle and extinction. If, however, our natural disposition is inclined to self-righteousness and grandiosity, our reaction will be just the opposite. We will be offended at AA's suggested inventory. No doubt we shall point with pride to the good lives that we thought we had led before the bottle cut us down. We shall claim that our serious character defects, if we think we have any at all, have been caused chiefly by excessive drinking. This being so, we think it logically follows that sobriety, first, last, and all the time, is the only thing we need to work for. We believe that our one-time good characters will be revived the moment we quit alcohol. If we were pretty nice people all along, except for our drinking, what need is there for a moral inventory now that we're sober? We also clutch at another wonderful excuse for avoiding an inventory. Our present anxieties and troubles, we cry, are caused by the behavior of other people who really need a moral inventory. We firmly believe that if only they'd treat us better, we'd be all right. Therefore, we think our indignation is justified and reasonable, that our resentments are the right kind. We aren't the guilty ones, they are. "24 hours a day, February 2nd. AA thought for the day. We got a kick out of the first few drinks before we got stupefied by alcohol. For a while, the world seemed to look brighter. But how about the letdown? The terrible depression that comes the morning after? In AA, we get a real kick. Not a false feeling of exhilaration, but a real feeling of satisfaction with ourselves, self-respect, and a feeling of friendliness toward the world. We got a sort of pleasure from drinking. For a while we thought that we were happy, but it was only an illusion. The hangover the next day is the opposite of pleasure. In AA, am I getting real pleasure and serenity and peace? Meditation for the day. I will practice love, because lack of love will block the way. I will try to see the good in all people, those I like and also those who fret me and go against the grain. They're all children of God. I will try to give love. Otherwise, how can I dwell in God's Spirit from which nothing unloving can come? I will try to get along with all people, because the more love I give away, the more I will have. Prayer for the day. I pray that I may do all I can to love others, in spite of their many faults. I pray that as I love, so will I be loved. Daily Reflection, February 2nd. Rescued by surrendering. Characteristic of the so-called typical alcoholic is a narcissistic, egocentric core, dominated by feelings of omnipotence, intent on maintaining at all costs its inner integrity. Inwardly, the alcoholic brooks no control from man or God. He, the alcoholic, is and must be the master of his destiny. He will fight to the end to preserve that position. AA Comes of Age, page 311. The great mystery is, why do some of us die alcoholic deaths, fighting to preserve the independence of our ego, while others seem to sober up effortlessly in AA? Help from a higher power, the gift of sobriety, came to me when an otherwise unexplained desire to stop drinking coincided with my willingness to accept the suggestion of the men and women of AA. I had to surrender, for only by reaching out to God and my fellows could I be rescued. Okay, guys, that concludes today's reading, and I know we're getting up on time, so I'll try to keep this as quick as I can, but I love the reading today in the 12 and 12. It's a love-hate thing, right? Because it's definitely me in a nutshell. Top of 45. If temperamentally we are on the depressive side, we are apt to be swamped with guilt and self-loathing. This was me, and this still can be me sometimes, depending on my spiritual condition. But it says, we wallow in this messy bog, often getting misshapen and painful pleasure out of it. As we morbidly pursue this melancholy activity, we may sink to such a point of despair that nothing but oblivion looks possible as a solution. And I'll be honest with you, even though I pray about certain things, every now and then I'll still wake up replaying all the stuff I did in the past Sometimes 7 years ago, sometimes 2 days ago. And then I think to myself, oh man, you're a snake. You know, you're not, what a hypocrite you are. But then I read a page like this. Here it is. For this is pride in reverse. This is not a moral inventory at all. It is the very process by which the depressive has so often been led to the bottle and extinction. Pride in reverse. I never knew that's what that was. But when I'm obsessing about myself, even in a negative sense, I'm of no use to anybody else. So when I woke up this morning and had all these intrusive thoughts, and by the way, these are things, as I said, I prayed about before. I've given to my higher power, and I'm trying to make amends, whether direct or living amends for. Can I do anything else? Literally do anything else to change it? No, except for pray about it. So I have two choices. I can wallow in my head and think that I'm a horrible person and just stay in bed. Or I can choose to get up, to pray, to thank my higher power for another day, to be of service to somebody else. And guess what? By doing this right now, 15 minutes into the program here, I already feel better. I've forgotten about myself, you know? So I'm not thinking about myself as much. And by confessing this out loud to who knows how many people, I don't know. I guess maybe the healing's already taking place. Because I'm smiling here at about 3 a.m. But my friends, that's all we have time for today. Thank you for letting me ramble a little bit there and get some things off my chest. But it is an honor, a thrill, and it's such a, I can't explain it. It's been such a spiritual blessing, I guess, for my soul to do this show. And to meet every single one of you that reach out and share your sober stories, it really just does bolster my faith. But please know, guys, as always, I don't speak on behalf of AA or NA, Al-Anon, or any other sect. I'm just a drunk in this lifeboat of recovery, really honored to be here. And my friends, please also know that if you are sober today, you're a miracle. And those who love you are very proud of you. And if you are not, I hope you realize that you're a miracle as well, that you have value and worth, and you are worthy of recovery. So I pray you'll take a step in the right direction today. And you don't have to do it alone. First word in the steps is we. But with that, my friends, I hope you have a great one. And if we're given another set of 24 hours, I sincerely look forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow.